Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Jimmy Kimmel Live. This is ridiculous. From his house.
Hello, welcome to my house, Guantanamo Bay. If you're seeing this message, please send help. I've been trapped here for I don't know how many days, but they say it's important to stay positive, and there are some good things about this. For instance, I haven't had to wear a bra in weeks. Every day I wake up convinced I have the virus. Every morning, I'm 100% convinced. Same with my wife. For weeks, it's been going on. At 7 a.m., we're convinced we're infected. By noon, we've completely forgotten about it. Every day. It's like diseased Groundhog's Day. Is anyone else doing this? They say the symptoms include being exhausted and aching all over, but those are also the symptoms of having young children. So everyone's going a little nuts right now. One of our writers, a young man named Ponytail Jesse, found himself Lysoling his Lysol yesterday. If you disinfect a disinfectant, does it then become an infectant? We're on lockdown here in LA. The beaches are closed, the parks are closed, but the meter maids are still giving out tickets. There is some positive, though. While we've been holed up at home, cleaning our closets, we somehow wound up with this shocking news.
The coronavirus pandemic is doing something many once thought impossible. As of tonight, Los Angeles has the cleanest air of any major city in the world.
But please, do not go out to enjoy it. Is there a way to save some of that air for later? So if that doesn't signify the end is near, I don't know what does. We've seen many, many videos of neighbors singing on their balconies, playing music, having these socially distant dance parties, but I think this is a first. A guy on what appeared to be the third or fourth floor poured a glass of wine from a bottle of wine into the glass of a woman below him. This happened in Portland, Oregon. They're hanging outside the windows to applaud nearby hospital workers, and that is a generous pour. That's the new way to drink responsibly. In Tokyo, it's graduation season right now, and at least one university there found a way to hand out the diplomas using iPads and robots.
Known as Numies, the robots walk across the stage to receive diplomas on behalf of graduates from Tokyo's Business Breakthrough University. Each bearing a tablet with the face of the student it represents. These robots are controlled remotely by the students and, of course, dressed in graduation gowns and caps to fit the occasion.
Now the Terminators have college degrees. iPads aren't the only products being put to clever use. Apple is said to be at work making face shields for doctors. The CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, today released this prototype of what the face shields will look like. They retail for $799. I'm going to wait for the Face Shield X. The Prime Minister of England is very ill. Boris Johnson is in intensive care right now with coronavirus, and the Prime Minister of Ireland is at the hospital too, but he's there to work. Prime Minister Leo Varadkar renewed his medical license so he could volunteer as a doctor. Meanwhile, our president is also volunteering as a doctor by arbitrarily prescribing lupus pills and fish tank chemicals at every press conference he holds. Trump, over the past few weeks, has been pushing this drug, hydroxychloroquine, very hard, despite repeated warnings from many doctors, including his top health guy, Dr. Fauci, who warned that the drug's effectiveness against this virus hasn't been tested yet. Well, now it turns out Trump's inexplicable passion for this drug might be a bit more explicable. Turns out he has a financial stake in the company that makes the drug. Of course he does. Do we really think he went out of his way to learn to say hydroxychloroquine for no reason?
You have chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine. Hydroxychloroquine, that's hydroxychloroquine. Hydroxychloroquine. Try it.
It's a great commercial. The president potentially profiting from a drug like this is very unethical. This would be like if he tried to host a G7 summit at one of his own resorts. Oh, he did that? Never mind. If we really wanted to get enough masks to all the hospitals, all we have to do is start printing the word Trump on the front of them and selling them at trumpstore.com. But the president is feeling very optimistic. Yesterday, He tweeted, "Light at the end of the tunnel." No, that's your tanning bed. You left it plugged in. There was another high-profile firing today. The White House press secretary, Stephanie Grisham, is out after 10 months on the job. She gave a total of no press conferences during her tenure and will be replaced by loyal Team Trumper Kayleigh McEnany, who back in February wisely said this.
He's sort of the last line of defense there, or first
That's
line,
right.
I should say.
Absolutely. This president will always put America first. He will always protect American citizens. We will not see diseases like the coronavirus come here.
Thank you, new White House spokesmodel. Wait, thank God it's not going to come here. Could you imagine if it did? She's going to fit right in. Only the best people. The first thing Kayleigh will have to deal with is this. A memo has surfaced showing that Trump was specifically warned back in January that 500,000 Americans could die as a result of this pandemic. The memo was written by his own trade advisor, Peter Navarro, who wrote the memo while the president was on TV telling us everything is fine. And then Navarro wrote another memo in February when the president was still saying everything was fine, saying the same thing. But if you show up at a press conference, you better not ask Trump about it. He has been using these Q&A sessions to beat up on the press. Yesterday, his victim was John Karl of ABC News.
The HHS Inspector General, and by the way, her name was Christy Grimm, and it wasn't so much her opinion, but they interviewed 323 different hospitals.
Well, it still could be her opinion. When was she appointed?
I'm not sure when she was
Would you
appointed.
do me a favor? Let me know.
I'll check.
No,
on
let me
when-
know now. I have to know now, John. Let me know now. How long has that person been in government? Could I ask you that?
Did serve in the previous administration.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. Oh, I see. You didn't tell me that, John. You didn't tell me that. Did serve in the previous administration. You mean the Obama administration. Thank you for telling me that. See, there's a typical fake news deal.
You asked me when she was appointed. I told you when she was appointed.
You're a
by your
third-rate
administration.
reporter, and what you just said is a disgrace, okay? Well, it was appointed in the Obama administration. Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much. You will never make it.
Oh, he's at the White House. I think he made it, but we should start calling him Pandas, right? By the way, Christy Grimm, the woman who called the hospitals and found out they don't have the supplies, started at the office of the Inspector General in 1999. She served under 4 presidents, Republican, Democratic, and idiotic. John Karl wasn't the only journalist who took shrapnel. Trump repeatedly refuted a report put out by his own administration that said hospitals have a shortage of supplies and long waits for tests, which we all know they do. But this report made him so angry, he even went after a reporter for Fox News.
I know you don't want to talk about the Inspector General report, but testing is still a big issue in this country. When can hospitals
Put the
expect?
slide up again, please.
When can
Just put it in.
hospitals expect to receive a quick turnaround of
Are you
these
ready?
test results?
Are you ready? Hospitals can do their own testing also. States can do their own testing. States are supposed to be doing testing. Hospitals are supposed to be doing testing. Do you understand that? We're the federal government. Listen to me. We're the federal government. We're not supposed to stand on street corners doing testing. We have a brand new testing system that we developed very quickly, and that's your result. And you should say, congratulations, great job, instead of being so horrid in the way you ask a question. Please, go ahead.
I'll say whatever you like about the guy. He really knows how to speak to women. You know what would be great? I hope this happens. One day, all the reporters should get together and agree to only ask Trump nice questions, just to be dicks, one after the other. They should get up and go, Mr. President, why was your bold leadership so perfect and effective? Wouldn't that be the best? He's really gone off the charts with these charts, too. He loves this one, the one he just showed, that shows the number of coronavirus tests we've done so far. You can see it goes all the way up to 2 million, which seems like a lot until you consider there are 330 million Americans. But don't ask him about it. Everything is perfect and great. At this point, it's like the captain of the Titanic ordering the band to play louder to drown out the screams. Here's some good news. At the Ocean Park Zoo in Hong Kong, the giant pandas who live there are mating naturally for the first time in a decade. Ying Ying and Lily are doing it. Do you think pandas call it doggy style? Turns out all they needed to get in the mood was not having thousands of people pointing at them and taking pictures all day. For 10 years, no one thought, what if we gave them some privacy? I guess there's something about humans going extinct that makes pandas very randy, but all it took was a global pandemic for Ying Ying to get her groove back. Speaking of groove. So let's check in with our friend Guillermo, who is at his home. How you doing, Guillermo?
I'm doing great, Jimmy.
How's the family?
Family is good, fantastic.
How is your toilet paper supply?
Unfortunately, I'm running low.
You are running low. I'm sorry to hear that. You know, it's crazy that that's become a normal thing to ask now. How is your toilet paper? Imagine if I asked that question in January, you'd have thought I was nuts, right, Guillermo?
That's right.
All right. But times have changed, and we've all learned to appreciate those fresh, puffy rolls of toilet paper. And now it is appreciating us back. The folks at Cottonelle made $1 million donation to the United Way Worldwide COVID-19 Community Response and Recovery Fund, and they are donating an additional $200,000 in honor of our show tonight. On top of that, they're donating 1 million rolls of their soft and luxurious rolled gold, too. You could be a part of this now through June 1st. Cottonelle will donate an additional $1 on behalf of anyone who tags an instance of socially distanced toilet paper sharing with the hashtag #ShareASquare. You can get all the information at cottonelle.com. And so, Guillermo, since you are in need, I am going to share a square with you, okay? Here's how you do it. There we go. There, take it, Guillermo. You see that? Yes.
Thank
There
you.
go.
I gotta go.
All right. He might need a little more. All right. Use the hashtag #ShareASquare, and thank you to Cottonelle for teaching us that squaring is caring. Guillermo, you know, has a young son at home, his son Benji, and he's having to homeschool him, which is something a lot of people are doing. But Guillermo is so good at it, he wanted to help other parents too. So gather the kids, because it's time now for the first of what I hope will be many installments of Homework Corner with Guillermo.
Hello and welcome to Homework Corner with Guillermo. Today's problem is, what is 189 divided by 3? Wow, that's a very hard question. Divided by 3, right? Okay, I think it's, I don't even know how to do division anymore. Oh, wow. Maybe we'll go on commercials and then we'll be right back with the answer.
Nothing brings people together like division. Thank you, Guillermo.